Hi, Darren here. Yeah, January felt like a particularly heavy month, so how about something lighter? Yeah, today I'm going to be doing a list of 20 musical name checks. What do I mean by a name check? Well, a musician, a band, or an artist explicitly referencing another musician, band, or artist, in their own song. Yeah, this isn't just going to be a passing mention. I want to hear it up front, out in the open, right there in the title, if possible. So yeah, we'll go for 20 songs, I think. Yeah, unranked, of course, personal selections from indie, alternative, left of centre artists. Yeah, you will spot some obvious or quite well-known numbers in here, but hopefully we'll have a lot more obscure ones this time around. And here, number 1 on my list, I've got Tom Verlaine by The Family Cat. Yeah, this is their anthology, 5 Lives Left. Yeah, this song was the inspiration for this whole list, actually, following the passing of Tom Verlaine himself. Yeah, classic late 80s tweener indie act here, who flashed hard, but, relatively briefly, I guess, in that window between, Manchester and shoegaze and grunge. Yeah, Tom Verlaine was their debut single from 1989, and it was an Enemy Single of the Week, no less. Yeah, I guess you'd categorize this as kind of slightly old school indie, but it's still a fairly kind of muscular blend of that kind of Loop, Spaceman 3 take on, psychedelia or krautrock, those kind of textures, but in a much more melodic, much more indie pop kind of setting. Cool guitars, a cool single, and a great live band who just, weren't quite, of the time enough to go big. And at number 2, I've got Nick Cave Dolls by Bongwater. Yeah, this is from Bongwater's third album, their third LP, The Power of Pussy, from 1991. And Bongwater, in case you don't know them, consists of Kramer, head of Shimmy Disc, producer of lots of bands, plus Ann Magnuson. Yeah, this is a very offbeat, weird, kind of psychedelic pop, quirky, semi-spoken, hilarious lyrics, bordering on performance art almost. And Nick Cave Dolls is this kind of meandering tale of a random, seedy day walking around the streets of LA. But it ends with the very memorable payoff line, "Wow, they have Nick Cave Dolls now? I want one." And at number 3, from 1984, I've got Political Song for Michael Jackson to Sing by the Minutemen. Yeah, this is a cut from the hardcore, I guess you call them revolutionaries, from their masterpiece album from 1984, Double Nickels on the Dime. And yeah, it features a kind of crazy beat style lyric, free associative lines that sound, like they might be critiquing, punk rock politics in the face of, this huge combined history of, pop. Apparently, Mike Watt, who wrote this song, genuinely wanted Michael Jackson to sing this and sent him a tape. The response? Well, nothing. Yeah, it just never happened. Yeah, great song from a landmark album. And at number 4 from 1989, I've got Kim Gordon's Panties, the song that is by this band whose name I probably won't say out loud. Steve Albini's very short-lived post-big black band with, that dreadful name. He has, himself admitted that it was a mistake. I'm going to forgive him this one because this song is kind of it's like an in-joke. It's a response to, of all people, of course, Sonic Youth, who had very obliquely referenced Steve in their song Tough Gnarl off the Sister album. Yeah, this is kind of punk rock, hijinks, joshing. They're trying to outdo each other, raise the offense causing. And sure enough, Steve, he took it too far. They were actually pretty friendly at the time. Although I think things did cool off a bit as they went into the 90s. And Steve had some quite difficult things to say about Sonic Youth moving to Geffen Records in the 90s. Either way, this is probably the most abrasive thing you'll hear from Steve Albini. It's a very memorable song. And at number 5, I've got Daft Punk is Playing at My House by LCD Soundsystem. Yeah, this is their breakthrough song, I guess, from their 2005 debut self-titled album. And it's kind of a pretty hilarious, quite deadpan dance punk tale of, what would be the reality of Daft Punk actually playing at someone's house party. Yeah, the lyrics kind of detail all the problems. All the furniture is in the garage. Sarah's girlfriend is working the door. Yeah, this one's a lot of fun. It's supremely catchy, repetitive, danceable, post-punk meets disco. And at 6, from 1993, I've got Johnny Mathis's Feet by American Music Club. Yeah, this is probably the closest that AMC ever came to a hit single. And it was taken from their major label debut LP, Mercury, which I have talked about at some length already on the channel. Yeah, in this case, in name-checking Johnny Mathis, he's basically using Mathis as a mirror. Eitzel's holding him up to his own songs. This is a typical, slice of self-deprecation and self-doubt from Eitzel. Johnny Mathis in this case is, he's the epitome of showbiz, of professionalism. And Eitzel is casting himself as this perennial, loser who can't write, can't sing, can't play. Don't believe him. He's great. Number 7, I've got Faron Young by Prefab Sprout. Yeah, this is the opening track of their marvellous 1980s pop masterpiece, Steve McQueen, also known as Two Wheels Good in certain territories, released in 1985. Yeah, Faron Young, by the way, was one of those kind of singing cowboy style country and western artists of, well, initially the 50s, but all the way through to the 70s. And this is a typical Paddy McAloon lyric about, the very obvious fakeness, the frivolity of, American pop culture, while still, kind of loving it despite himself. Yeah, bonus points on this song for, having the gall to use a Fairlight sampler, sequencer, to record the banjo track. Yeah, well done, Thomas Dolby there. Something to be applauded. And 8th on this list, I've got The Replacements with Alex Chilton. Yeah, this one's the Matt's very loving tribute to Alex Chilton, the lead singer, guitarist with the legendary 70s cult rock band Big Star. Yeah, Big Star were a huge influence on subsequent generations of power pop acts, I guess, from the late 70s all the way through to the present day. Yeah, Alex Chilton is on their Pleased to Meet Me album of 1987. And yeah, this is one of their most beloved, most memorable songs. Yeah, it's a seminal kind of indie rock inspiration for a generation of, people who listen to college radio. Yeah, big, roaring, feel-good power pop. That's this song. Yeah, and at number 9, I've got Vic Chesnutt and his song, Lucinda Williams. Yeah, as with American Music Club not long ago, I have talked about this song at length on this album in my 90s Overlooked Underheard series. So, yeah, check it out if you want to hear a bit more there. Yeah, but basically this is, I think, one of Vic's greatest lyrics, and I think it's in one of his greatest songs too. Yeah, Vic would name-check many other artists over the years in many songs. Just a few: Aaron Neville, Jane's Addiction, Stryper even. But of all those tracks, Lucinda Williams is the only one to get that coveted title spot with the song being named after her. Yeah, it's just a beautiful, emotionally devastating song. And number 10, we have got the Posies with, from 1996, their song, Grant Hart. Yeah, this one's from their amazing Disgrace album. And as well as being a name check, this is actually kind of a style check as well, if you like. The Posies go full on Huskers in this kind of very heart-on-sleeve love song to the songs, the drums, the voice of Grant Hart. Yeah, it's right there in the lyrics. The song name checks some classic Huskers songs. You get mentions for Keep Hanging On and New Day Rising. Yeah, they sing power trios with big ass deals. Yeah, this is great stuff. Okay, at number 11 from 1985, I've got The Fall and I Am Damo Suzuki. Yeah, this one's from maybe what many people think is their best album. Yeah, This Nation's Saving Grace. Yeah, and on here you get this tribute to the legendary can singer Damo Suzuki. Yeah, Marky Smith was notoriously a bit of a curmudgeon, to put it mildly, when it came to other musicians. And, bar some old, 50s rock and rollers and Iggy Pop, strangely, yeah, who he also name checks on this album on the track What You Need. This was probably about as effusive or as direct a tribute as you would get from Mark. Yeah, it's this clattering, fried, kind of psychedelic, spiraling descent, if you like, with Mark, singing, about doses of vitamin C, name checking a can track there. Yeah, a great period for The Fall, and yeah, a great track by them. Number 12, I've got Robyn Hitchcock and Listening to the Higsons. Yeah, this track, however, is probably better known for its inclusion on, and for providing the title for, Robyn's 1985 live album called Gotta Let This Hen Out. Yeah, this is very typical English kind of psychedelic whimsy from Robyn, and it's about listening to the Higsons. The Higsons being an early 80s kind of indie funk punk band featuring Charlie Higson, who later went on to far greater kind of fame and success as the comedian and writer of, shows like The Fast Show. Yeah, very silly, very deadpan. Robyn does sing on this one. The Higsons come from Norwich and they eat a lot of porridge, but I prefer East Grinstead. Yeah, a very silly and a very fun track, which bears a very strong influence, I think, from our next name check recipient. And yes, here it is. At number 13, we've got I Know Where Syd Barrett Lives by the Television Personalities. Yeah, I'm going to be testing your tolerance to twee over the next few tracks. So yeah, I'll probably flash an alert on the screen when something particularly twee comes up. Yeah, so before I go on with the track, yeah, Robyn Hitchcock is often branded as a, Syd Barrett kind of copyist. You can make your own mind up about that. But this here is the Television Personalities name-checking the notoriously, reclusive, acid-damaged former Pink Floyd frontman. And this happens to be one of the Television Personalities' earliest releases. Yeah, very long running, very sneakily kind of influential post-punk kind of proto-indie band, I guess you'd call them. Yeah, delicate kind of psychedelic folk whimsy on this. You even get some birdsong added to it. Yeah, this might be one of the origins of that kind of twee sound, I think. Yeah, Dan Treacy sings, I know where he lives and I visit him. We have Sunday tea, sausages and beans. Yeah, it's very sweet and very silly at the same time. And this song was also kind of subject to I guess you'd call it a meta Namecheck itself. With the pop-punk kind of mainstay band, the Mr. T Experience, they recorded a song called I Don't Know Where Dan Treacy Lives for an EP in the year 2000. And at number 14, I've got the Becketts with Me and Robert Forster. Yes, like the Family Cat, another great lost, UK indie act of, the late 80s and the early 90s. And I would say they were Yeovil's finest, but I think PJ Harvey probably just nixed that one. Yeah, they were a pretty incendiary live act. I did see them once and they pretty much blew me away. They were of that generation of indie artists who were completely, stamped at a very impressionable age by those first 2 or 3 Pixies albums. Yeah, and the Robert Forster, of course, they're referring to is the singer-songwriter guitarist of the Go-Betweens. Yeah, it's a pretty ferocious kind of UK indie pop slammer, really. I think it holds up pretty well even today. And a little bit of trivia here, just if you're remotely interested. Simon Ashdown, the Becketts guitarist, was the son of Paddy Ashdown, the long-time leader of the UK's third major political party, the Liberal Democrats. And as a consequence, Paddy Ashdown selected this song as one of his Desert Island discs on BBC Radio in 1991. Yeah, but for the family link, this would be kind of like, I'm trying to think of a good comparison for US viewers out there. This would be like finding out that Bernie Sanders was like a closet fan of Beat Happening. And at number 15, and that twee alert should be sounding right now, yeah, we have the Pooh Sticks with I Know Someone Who Knows Someone Who Knows Alan McGee Quite Well. Yeah, this is from their 1988 Alan McGee EP. Yeah, this, I believe, is, the archetypal twee UK indie pop sound, and the Pooh Sticks are probably the leading exponents of that. Pick your adjectives, fey, jokey, shambly, jangly. I'm kind of stretching my remit here slightly because the Alan McGee of the title is the boss, the impresario, the Svengali behind Creation Records, one of the kind of the holy trinity, if there is one, of UK, indie labels. Alan gets a pass there for being in Biff Bang Pow, who I think are one of the, the jangle pop, OGs, I guess. And the song itself, it's almost a list song, if you like. It features a litany of references to, 80s indie pop. Jeff Travis gets a mention, The Smiths, Paul Smith, Blast First. It's all in there. Yeah, quite good fun. And if you listen to indie music at a certain age, at a certain point in time, this one will raise a smile. We're entering a brief instrumental section of the list now, the next 2 numbers, in fact. So the first of which would be number 16 on this list, and that is Alan Sparhawk with Eruption by Eddie Van Halen. Yeah, this comes from the Low guitarist and singer's 2006 solo album called Solo Guitar. Yeah, this was Alan's experimental record, I guess you'd call it. It's essentially semi-improvised, recorded pretty much live with just Alan's guitar and, a bunch of effects. And it all looks very serious, and you might get, strong kind of John Fahey vibes if you look down the track list. You might expect some kind of finger-picking extravaganza, but there it is. This track just jumps out at you. Eruption by Eddie Van Halen. But importantly, this is not a cover of Eruption by Eddie Van Halen. That is the title of the song. And what starts as a, fairly ponderous, fractured, atmospheric number just bursts into this, cacophonous hail of shredded guitar solo at about the 1.5-minute mark. Nice work, Alan. A very unexpected flash of humour amidst all of that, very serious experimentation. And the next instrumental number up at number 17 is Andres Segovia Interests Me by The Fucking Champs. Yeah, this comes from the Champs' 1997 debut album, rather confusingly titled 3. And here you get yet more shred. Yeah, this is very technical, dual guitar heroics writ large, a hail of, complex, hard metal kind of structured riffing. You can't help but put up names like, Yngwie Malmsteen and Joe Satriani here. Wild Stallions, if you prefer to keep things a little lighter. And if you're inclined to think that this might be a bit of a joke, then, these guys must be quite the performers because they play it dead straight. They keep a stony straight face throughout. Yeah, cool in small doses, or large if this is really your bag. Andres Segovia, by the way, was a legend of modern classical Spanish guitar, yeah, a proper virtuoso. And given their prowess, I think the title might actually be deadly, deadly serious. And at number 18 on the list, I've got Motorhead with R.A.M.O.N.E.S. Yeah, this is from their 1916 album from the year 1991, if you get me. Yeah, Motorhead, the Ramones, bros from different Mo's, I guess. Yeah, they were mutual fans, and I think this one kind of sealed the deal. It's basically an oral kind of love letter, if you like, to the brothers from Lemmy and Co. Oh, and it's completely rendered in the style of the Ramones. Yeah, this one's really sweet, yeah. And at number 19 on this list, almost at the end now, we have Jonathan Richman with Velvet Underground. Yeah, this one's from Jonathan's 1992 album, I, Jonathan. And like R.A.M.O.N.E.S, the previous song on this list, this is a pretty heartfelt tribute, but it does kind of have quite a knowing running commentary, you know, on the Velvet Underground sound, if you like. Yeah, the song switches up into a straight-up Velvet Underground parody at about the minute and 10 mark, with Jonathan adopting this full-on kind of Lou Reed drawl. Yeah, it's sweet, it's funny, it's obviously very heartfelt, and any song that features this much, you know, hand clapping as an instrument, it instantly rules for me. And at number 20, the final entry on this list, and, you know, satisfyingly, for me at least, this kind of brings us full circle in that, you know, we get back to some other UK indie also-rans, and it's also a tribute or a name check to the previous artists on this list. I'll get on with it. Yeah, this is the Rockingbirds, and this is Jonathan. Yeah, I'm trying to think, was there possibly a worse time for a UK indie band to go country than 1992? I think not. Nonetheless, this was a kind of a minor indie hit, and I believe someone made it their single of the week. Yeah, and it was released on the Heavenly label. Quite a cool label at that time. And it's a country rocker. It's great. Pedal steel, acoustic guitar, the whole works. And the opening lyric just nails the feeling of the song. It goes, Jonathan, I remember you said when you first heard Heroin, you'd never heard a thing so beautiful, it nearly did you in. Yeah, the Rockingbirds never really took off in the way that this single suggested they might, I think, but they've left us with a great record. Yeah, and that's it. I love these name checks. It's nice to kind of hear that, you know, sometimes musicians are as much of a fan of some of the music that you love as you are yourself. Anyway, these are just my 20. I'm sure there are some suggestions you may have for me. And if you do, yeah, please chat about it below. Send me a comment. And if you did like this video, yeah, please like, subscribe if you like too. But that's it for today. Yeah, onward and upward. I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.